Good morning, Clearbranch kids. I hope you guys have had a wonderful week thinking about the epic story that I told you guys about creation. So this week, we're going to continue on through the Bible to the next really epic story. Now, in last week's story, we learned that God not only created the entire world and everything in it, but he also created the only thing in creation that was made in his image, and that was us. He created the first two people, first Adam and then Eve. And so here's what happened next. So when God created Adam and Eve, he gave them the whole world to take care of, and he gave them the most beautiful place, the most beautiful garden on all the earth to live in. But there was one rule. There was one tree in the center of the garden that they were not supposed to eat from. They could have anything else they wanted, but this one tree they weren't supposed to eat the fruit from. Well, things went along just fine for a little while. And then one day, one of the animals from creation, called a serpent, kind of like a snake, came along. And that creature was so smart and so wily that the Bible tells us that it spoke to Eve. And it told Eve that she should eat some of the fruit from that tree. Well, of course, Eve said, "No, I can't do that. God said we're not supposed to eat from that tree." Well, the snake, trying to trick Eve, said, "But don't you know that's just because he knows things that you don't. And if you eat from that tree, then you're going to know everything that he knows. It's going to be great." Well, Eve let her curiosity get the best of her, and she tasted from the fruit from that tree. And then she convinced Adam to do it as well. Well, as you know, if you've already heard the story, things changed. Suddenly, Adam and Eve did know and understand some things that they didn't before. And one of the things they realized is that they weren't wearing any clothes. And suddenly, that was a fact that bothered them. So they grabbed some leaves and stitched them together and put that on to cover themselves. But then they were ashamed because they knew that they had done something that God had expressly told them not to do. And so when they heard God coming, they hid. Well, of course, you know, you can't hide from God. And so God knew pretty quickly what had happened. And he told them, yes, he still loved them, but things were going to have to be different from now on. And things weren't going to be as easy. Things would be harder. It would be very painful when Eve would have children. It would be hard sometimes for Adam to grow the food that they needed from the ground. And also, their life on earth would be a shorter period of time, that their earthly bodies would die. And for right now, they would be physically separated from God. Now, that's kind of a sad story, right? First part's really cool. Adam and Eve have all the earth and the most beautiful place to live in and to take care of. But then they fall from grace. They do something they shouldn't have done. But the best part of the story comes in the end. Yes, Adam and Eve had consequences. There were things that happened, ways that their lives were not as good because of the things they had done. But God still loved them. And that, guys, is our bottom line for this week. It's that God loves us no matter what. No matter what we do, where we go, how bad we feel we might be. Even when we feel like we're separated from God, that's just because we feel that way. That's not because we truly are. God is always there, and he loves us no matter what. So guys, remember that this week.